So according to reports, Gervonta Davis has agreed to fight Frank Martin for the WBA lightweight world title. Now, Frank Martin was previously accused of ducking Shakur Stevenson because that fight was supposed to be getting set up. Frank Martin apparently pulled out or went in a different direction. And at the time, he received a lot of criticism. But if this fight gets made, then it kind of puts it in perspective, because this is still a very good opponent, obviously. Some people would argue that Gervonta Davis is better than Shakur Stevenson. Other people would argue the opposite. Whatever the case may be, this is still obviously a very credible fight for Frank Martin, one of the most credible fights he could ever take. But, and this is the crucial thing, it's for an awful lot more money, you would assume, than he'd be getting for fighting Shakur Stevenson. So it's a no-brainer. If you've got to fight a dangerous, unbeaten fighter who has, high accolades and so on and so forth, you pick the one who pays more money, right? Because in terms of the ability of both guys, you're stuck between a rock and a hard place. So why not fight Gervonta Davis? It's hard to argue against Frank Martin picking Gervonta Davis as an opponent rather than picking Shakur Stevenson. So that is what that is. I'm sure you're all familiar with Gervonta Davis, 29-0, 27 KOs. In the lighter weights, he is one of the best punchers. In fact, pound for pound, he's one of the best punchers in boxing. His last fight was against Ryan Garcia. That was in April last year. So Davis maybe not being as active as we'd like to see. He won that fight in 7 rounds. I'm sure you all remember it. 29 years of age now. So he's kicking on in terms of his father time catching up with him. Frank Martin is less well known, but he's also 29. He's 18-0 with 12 KOs. And I believe, you guys correct me if I'm wrong, he is managed by Errol Spence. I know some people say Errol Spence is the one who discovered him, but I think Spence actually manages him, or he has some type of hands-on dealings with Frank Martin. So, that's Frank Martin. He hasn't fought anything like the level of opposition that Gervonta Davis has fought, but his record is perfect so far, and he looks decent. If you've ever watched him box, he moves well, he's pretty quick. There's a bit of power there. He's not a Tank Davis type puncher, but there is a bit of power there. At 5'8" with a 68-inch reach, he's obviously the much taller man. Tank is only 5'5.5", he's listed here. So, good fight for the WBA title if it gets made. I definitely look forward to it. I would expect Tank Davis to win, but I certainly wouldn't count Frank Martin out. If I hadn't mentioned already, he is a southpaw, so it'll be a battle of two left-handers. So let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. Gervonta Davis reportedly agreeing to fight unbeaten Frank Martin for the WBA lightweight strap. Let me know what you think about it. And before I go, I want to give a shout out to all the new subscribers to my Patreon page. I cover loads of different topics in my weekly podcast, as you can see on screen right now, from current events to deep dives down the rabbit hole and everything in between. I'm really enjoying the feedback and the discussions we've been having on there lately. So if you'd like to join the conversation, just click the link in the description box below. Are you sick and tired of the mainstream mindset? Does the dogmatic conformity and pathological ignorance have you tearing your hair out in frustration? Then don't be alone. Come and join our brotherhood on Patreon. We stand as a beacon of reason against an army of insanity. You'll gain access to my weekly topical podcast, where we take more deep dives than Jacques Cousteau on an endless variety of subjects. There's also videos, interviews, live Q&As, as well as a vast back catalogue of previous episodes, including my popular Confessions of a Nightclub Bouncer series. You can listen via the Patreon app or download in high-quality MP3. Connect with myself and hundreds of other members in our Element chat group. There's no contract, no commitment, you can cancel at any time, and it's cheaper than a Mickey D's McMuffin. Just head to my Patreon page via the link below this video and select the tier called the Brotherhood of Reason. I'll see you over there.